right, Reid, you ready to get started?
Yeah,
Seems about that time.
it's about that time.
Hi, folks. Thanks for joining. My name's Gar Whaley. I'm the CRO and co-founder of Teal. Joining me, as usual, my partner in crime, our CTO, Reid Johnston. How you doing
Hello,
today, Reid?
doing well. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. Hey, today we're here back to talk more about Copilot um, in our monthly Copilot series. Some new things that have come out recently and just some cool stuff. Try to keep these things short and brief. But once you share your screen, we'll get started.
Sounds great. We'll do that. Share to, there we
By the way,
go.
Reid, your shirt goes very well with our corporate background.
Why, thank you. It's a teal shirt.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I think we're going to start with something that I'm very interested in that I struggle with a lot, and that's searching and finding things.
Yeah.
Or maybe I think you said you wanted to start with sort of just explaining the new interface.
Yeah. So my kind of homepage forever has been office.com. I'd type in office.com in my browser and it would take me to kind of a home page for Microsoft 365 that would list my different apps and it would show some recent contact and content. And Microsoft has updated things. So now when you go to office.com, it's actually going to take you to this m365.cloud.microsoft/chat. They're really driving everyone at their chat interface. So this has been rebranded as Microsoft 365 Copilot. That's like the cloud interface now. And they're bringing you right into Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. So when I go to office.com, it takes me here now, which is fine. It's good.
I think the last time we actually, last month or 2 months ago, we talked about agents.
Mhm.
We talked about the researcher agent, which you have actually over on the left. But the last time we talked about that, it was on the right.
Yeah, they've kind of moved everything around. They've rebranded everything. They're integrating AI into all of their different products. So they're calling everything Microsoft 365 Copilot. Here's the chat interface. The thing that I wanted to talk about that I think is pretty neat is the new search interface. So right at the top, you can hit search. This is going to take you into the ability to really see a lot of your recent content and files and meetings and chats and everything. So here I can search, I can select apps that I want to specifically search. It's going to pop down some things that I've recently accessed in our Microsoft tenant. But they're going to recommend,
Thanks for cleaning those up before the call, Reid.
yeah, got it, cleaned all the games out. Yeah, but they're going to recommend some content based on meetings that I have coming up, based on things that I've attended, recent files as well, things that have been shared both to me and with me. So this is great. If you want to do a search, now this is where, like, let's say tips and tricks. So if I hit tips and tricks, it's going to search all over Microsoft 365, all over our tenant for data. It's going to give me one big listing here. But the neat thing is I can filter on all sorts of things. So files, this is going to be files inside of our Microsoft tenant. I can select by date ranges. I can select by file type. Sites, these are going to be SharePoint sites that are part of teams that we've created to share files. So here's our tips. Here's a tips and tricks one. People, these are going to be, we don't have anyone called tips and tricks, but if I was searching for a name, like if I was searching for you, you'd show up here. And then you can integrate other things into search. So I've created an integration for some of our tickets. I'm not going to go into that, but one of the things a business can do is integrate other data sources into this global search. I'm finding that depending on what I'm looking for, I'll use the search function if I know kind of exactly what it's called. Like when we were preparing for this, I was searching for Copilot. And if I search for Copilot, it's a pretty wide net. that it's casting, and it may be hard for me to find what I'm looking for, but that's really where the power of Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat is, because I can say, help me find files related to Copilot tips and tricks. And Copilot now is going to perform some of that same searching. It's going to search the Microsoft graph. It's going to kind of reframe what I'm searching for and find a bunch of different information in our environment. So I think Microsoft was smart to shift the kind of the generic homepage really to a chat interface. See, now I've got a lot of really great information. I've got recorded sessions, use cases, it's provided
To
some.
me, the chat, I mean, what the chat, knowing you and knowing what you were searching for, the chat pulled back more applicable search
Mhm.
results than the actual search.
Yep. Yeah.
The question I had, which I saved for this, is does this help me find where me and Jill might have talked about something? Um,
Hmm.
so one of the things I struggle with, and I think we've talked about it before on these calls or these webinars, is how do I find where we were talking about whatever it is? Was it an email? Was it in Teams? Where did we write a document?
Yeah. So that's where when you're doing that prompting in Copilot and you type the slash, now I can add context to my prompt. So I can say, where did Gar, and it's going to find you and Jill, um, talk with me about Copilot. So now what it's doing is it's narrowing its search to our messages, right? It's going to be our Teams messages, our group chats, our channel messages, and it still may pull in some files, but it's really going to focus on conversations, and it's going to focus on meetings that we've had where the meetings have been recorded and we have transcripts of those meetings. So it's found some emails,
Oh
Teams
yes,
chat.
this is exactly what I need, Reid.
Yeah.
In fact, that wasn't a really great example because I don't know that I don't recall you and Jill and I ever talking about Copilot, but Jill likes to get her
Yeah.
hands in everything, so she probably was talking about Copilot.
Sure.
Um, so
Yeah,
that's
but
that's fantastic.
yeah, when you're prompting, that slash command is really powerful because it's going to pull up a lot of your recent data. But then you can type in names of people. You could type in the name of a meeting. So I could type in like our leadership meeting Thursday, and it's going to narrow in on that meeting for context when it's searching. So yeah, the new kind of homepage, or what I view as the homepage, the M365 Cloud Microsoft, is awesome. And it shows your agents. So if you've published agents into your environment like we have, like our legal agent that has our MSA and our SOW and answers questions about that, or the meeting summarizer that I created, which creates meeting summaries for me in a structured way. Um, it's all right here. So pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That so the question that we have to ask on everything is, can you use is there a licensing fee for these features?
So everyone can use Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat. The limitation is if you don't have a license, that $30 a month license or that annual license, when you do that slash command, you're not going to be able to pull in files and data from your environment. You'll be able to upload data. You can add content and upload files and have Copilot Chat um, analyze those files that you upload, but you're not going to be able to kind of do that semantic search of your entire environment and have the AI help you there. So,
All right, great.
yep.
I think you want to talk about what do you want to talk about next? We got a few more minutes chatting with an agent.
Yeah. So previously, if we were going to go in and work with an agent, I had to find it in the list, or I had to I had to, open it up here, and here's our legal agent that we created. So I could say, what is the term of our MSA? And what it's going to do is it's going to only search the data that I've given it. It's not going to search around the entire environment. A legal agent like this, or an intelligent agent like this, only has a really narrow scope of data that it's looking at. So here's the answer it gave me. So here's our MSA, and it referenced a file. You can tag agents like you can tag people. So if I'm in a chat, let me just go back here to chat. I can use that @ sign, and you notice that some things pop up at the bottom, kind of like when I used the slash, and up at the top, I've got
Oh,
access to data. So I can say legal agent, what is the term of our MSO? And what it's doing
mm,
now is it's taking me right there. I don't have to find it in a list. Maybe I have a bunch of agents. Maybe I've got 20 or 30 specialists that I've created. Now I can just tag those agents like I can tag people, which is pretty cool. So
that's very cool because one of the when when I'm using this, sometimes I I struggle to find. I can't find where the agent is.
yeah,
Um,
so just
so
remember
now I
that
can
@
just
sign.
go at legal agent or at HR because we have an HR agent as well.
Yep.
Can you use it for the research agent, which is not built by us? It's just a Microsoft.
Ooh, let's try it. I'm going to create a new chat. I think you can. I think if I say research, yeah. So a researcher.
Oh, great. Because that's the
Oh,
one, researcher agent is the one I use most frequently, which we went over in a different Copilot webinar.
yeah.
You were typing that too fast, but I think
Help
it
me
was the
prepare
next
for
few
a
weeks.
meeting with Dairy Queen next week.
Okay. Well, that's going to run for a while, as we learned
Yeah.
on our last webinar. But
Right.
we're about 12 minutes, Reid. Is there anything else you think you can get to in the next 3 or 4 minutes?
One thing that I think is pretty useful. I'm going to go back to this. I'll create a new chat.
Yes.
And I can say, what's the latest from our marketing team? Microsoft has added the ability to schedule your prompts. So rather than typing this in every week or every day, I can have Copilot do it for me and just give me the output. So think about, like, help me prepare for my meetings this week. Help me understand what happened last week. Are there any emails that appear to be urgent that I should follow up on? So here I just did this search. What's the latest from our marketing team? Got a bunch of neat information. Would you like a summary? I'm just going to say, there we go. So it's done. It gave me this response. Bunch of information here. At the very bottom, I can click on more options. And when I click on more options, I can schedule this prompt.
Oh,
This is the cool part. So now I can pick when I want this prompt to run. Maybe every day, maybe once a week on Monday. And maybe I want to run it for the next 15 Mondays. It's interesting, they only let you run it 15 times. But when I hit save now, I guess I'm running it Monday and Friday. We'll just pick Monday until November 7th, save. So this is creating in the background, this is creating a flow in another Microsoft tool to run this prompt for me. And it's going to show up in my conversation history every Monday now. So this is a great way. Help me prepare for the week, recap the major things that happened this week, and it'll show up right in the list. So
I can
now,
think of
now it's
some other
back.
use cases for this
Yep.
that won't work yet. But imagine if it could integrate into non-Microsoft tools like our EOS planning tool.
Yep. Help me prepare for
Yeah.
my
Or what
meeting.
are
Well, it could, because when we have a leadership meeting or we have other EOS meetings in our team, they are recorded. So I could give it a prompt that's grounded on that meeting series. Recap the last meeting for me to refresh me for the next meeting.
yeah,
And
yeah. I
then
mean, you
give me
just showed
that.
that, but what I'm talking about is go in, recap the upcoming the
For sure.
IDSs for the.
Yep. So where do I
Well,
find those? So when I'm in the chat interface, I can go up here and I've got my scheduled prompts in the upper right-hand corner. This will bring me into my list of prompts. And this is where I can run it now. I could turn it off or delete it. So you can have a
so just
running list.
show, so after you make a prompt, it's running. Like if you want to go find it again, show that. I
Yeah, so I'm in chat, like I'm gonna start a new chat, and it's
Right.
way up in the upper right-hand corner under scheduled prompts.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Hey, Reid, we're out of time, but I
Yeah,
appreciate all the great stuff.
yeah.
If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out. Our contact information will be in the slide that Britt adds to the webinar. So thanks, Reid, and thanks everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks a lot. See ya.